Last week on Post to Post, Will had no one available, so he swung open the door, bust open the books, and made a call for help. Tonight, on Post to Post, it is the Brothers of Discussion with the original man of the men. Yeah! I lost it.
Honestly, it just sounded like an intro to a very special Clone High.
It's Weatherman. The lady has been watching so many episodes of Bar Rescue. I tried to weasel it in and then got tongue-tied on trying to do Weatherman. They swung open the books. They swung open the door, burst open the books, and made a call for help.
Oh, Weatherman, you get the best intros.
Well, it is a great day. We should all be happy today. You know, it's just been such a great day when we heard the great news today. I'm just so overjoyed I can't stop saying today because, you know, as we'll discuss later, Big Swole is gone.
We need the Weatherman fanfare. Forever and always.
My feelings are not hurt.
No, neither am I.
I just see all that money opened up for somebody decent. Not great, not good, just decent.
It could be for their way to bring in someone who was recently released.
Could be.
You know, she hasn't really improved. I don't really think the crowd cares. I mean, the crowd, you know, they're behind her, but it's, you know, average at best. And in my opinion, you know, what really is her character? I still have no idea what it's supposed to be trying to do. I just know she has a health issue and she flexes.
Yeah.
So, as I was saying, I think they may have lowballed her day because she probably wasn't in the plans to be used. She isn't really probably moving merch like they would need as a startup to make money.
I don't even think she has merch. Does she?
I don't either. So I don't really know what they're gaining from having her and clearing her out by doing either a low ball to where she leaves or a low ball just to see, you know, we would like you to stay, but we can't pay you what we did. It could open up the funding for, as Weatherman alluded to, someone else, which could be one of the recently released wrestlers.
Yeah. It won't be Nia Jax because she basically said she's probably not coming back.
Well, let's hope to God that she stays that way.
Well, I think we'll be fine just without Nia Jax in the wrestling business. Only one I could think would be, who was the one that carried the dog? I can't remember what her name was before NXT.
Paris Hilton. I was going to say Scarlett and then get Carrion.
I was going to say that too. As a combo, you could probably, because they got to be together.
Yeah.
That's where I think killed Carrion on the main roster. Besides the dominatrix demolition look.
Yeah. He didn't have his eye candy with him.
Yeah, and they're a combo package.
Yep. I don't know who they would get, in all honesty. I mean, shit. I can't think of a single person off the top of my head right now. For some reason, I can think of nobody.
If they had signed with Impact, the Iconics, or whatever they're going by now.
Yeah. They probably would have been a good get. But, I mean, I'm cool with them signing with Impact. That's pretty okay to me. Because they'll get more over there than anywhere else. All things considered, not a big loss. I mean, personally, I didn't have anything super against Big Swole, but, you know,
I didn't either.
She wasn't really
She didn't click.
No, she just didn't have that something that she needed. Like there were moments where it's like, oh, does she have it? And then, you know, within a week you're like, no, she doesn't.
She had 3 years. She wrestled probably half of that, and that whole year and a half, she never showed any improvement.
Yep.
I mean, green to the greenest level.
The green dream, if you will.
And I think she's the one that broke Britt's nose.
I mean, you could be right on that one. I am uncertain as to what that was, but I feel like you may be correct. That was, it feels like that was a million years ago now. But
here's the thing, though. Everybody that originally signed with the AEW signed 3-year contracts, right?
Yes.
So if she's mutually parting ways now, that means all those contracts are coming up, and my truck is vibrating, so I sound like I'm bouncing. But so that means Joey Janela's coming up, Snotty Kiss is coming up. All these ones that you don't see anymore that I consider, those salaries could be used in better places.
Yeah.
We can start seeing more mutual go-aways. We're not seeing Marco Stunning anymore. There's another one that needs to go.
I almost feel like Stunt probably will be gone. He hasn't done anything in so long, and honestly, like Jurassic Express, in my opinion, has been so much better without him, and the addition of Christian Cage instead. Honestly, like anytime I think of Marco Stunt, it's like, where's he at? I guess he's gone. He's doing the Janela where he's just wrestling GCW all the time.
Oh, I do have a funny story. So my son was with me for Thanksgiving, and we was watching Dynamite. And I sent you the video of him talking about Luchasaurus, didn't I?
Oh, yeah. He did not care for Luchasaurus.
But then afterwards he asked me the next day, he goes, hey, I want to go watch the ring fights. And I'm like, oh, well, we can probably work that. That's what I was thinking about Battle of the Bells. I was like, well, we might work something out. If me and your mother can work it out.
Yeah, do it. Do it. That'd be the perfect thing, because it's not going to be too expensive, and if they book it right, it'll be a damn barn burner of a first show to go to.
The only bad thing is I don't like, as a father, now this is just, I don't like the over cursing. It's really hard for me to bring a child into that. Try and get them into wrestling. With the way AEW's doing that. I wish they'd tone it down a little bit. Not go full blown. They can have attitude and not say shit every 5 seconds, and some of the stuff the crowd says.
Yeah, I mean, you're not going to be able to censure the crowd. That's just not going to happen. But I agree. Sometimes they go for the edge without needing to go for the edge. It's kind of just, at this point, it's just, okay, you're just saying it because you can, it'll get a rise out of most people. I'm like, I guess that's cool. But yeah, that's my thoughts on it as well. But I definitely see where you're coming from. Now, since we're on the AEW topic, Weatherman, I know you're going to be the most excited about it. I know I enjoyed it. Grayson caught it as well. Dynamite last week's most important moment. Damn near the first, third of the program.
The 20 minutes we didn't want to end.
Yes.
Fact.
It was so good. It didn't seem like it was 20 minutes.
No, it felt like literally a regular 5-minute promo between two dudes, but it literally was 20 goddamn minutes. I watched it take a shit. I was like, this won't be that long. Took half of my shit time.
It's not like you're not in there for a fucking hour anyway.
Yep, I did just say it took half of my shit time. So, but yeah, I loved it. It was just Insult City with cheap jabs at everything, anything and everything. Nothing was off limits. It was just
most importantly, it felt real.
Yeah.
Yes.
And my other takeaway is it showed how much fucking better on the mic CM Punk is than MJF.
Well, CM Punk is better than everyone on the mic. There was no discussion. That was not a thought in my mind.
But MJF can run with him.
Yeah.
He can, but at the same time, it made me happy that Punk called him out on being, Bush League because all of his shit sounds the same. That's what made me happy. I was like, hey, there you go, you know. I mean, MJF has grown on me. His promos are getting slightly better, but for me, and other people in the world will probably disagree completely, probably most of you guys, but I think 90% of his promos are pretty cookie cutter. He tried to pull that mess on CM Punk, but for me, it's just like, okay, who's MJF feuding with this time? What base level insult is he going to throw at him this time? And how is he just going to build around that and just circle around that same little nugget over and over and over and over? That's all I hear most of the time he gives a promo. Every once in a while, he knocks it out of the park with one that's a little out of his comfort zone, but 9 times out of 10, he's playing the MJF insult game. And that's all.
Well, we got to look at where he's been at the last year. He's been stuck with Jericho.
It's true.
Darby, he came back to being good when he did the thing with Darby.
Mm-hmm.
And now he's doing Punk. It's almost like it's MJF versus Straight Edge right now.
Yeah.
The UFC knock was great.
Oh, that was pretty good.
Because you wondered if they were ever going to go there.
Oh, they went there. I'm truly amazed at all the legit name dropping they have done on their programming lately.
Mm-hmm.
Like Brian name dropping WrestleMania the other week. Fucking.
Well,
MJF.
I mean, it made sense because let's just face it. At least you're admitting, hey, WrestleMania is the show of shows.
Yeah. I mean, you admit it exists, unlike fucking WWE that doesn't admit anything exists beyond themselves. But
because they're their own universe.
Exactly. They're living in another universe if they think people give a shit. But the other part where he was doing the John Cena thing, that was one of the best things MJF's done in a while. That gave me a giggle. I was super pleased at him mimicking being John Cena in front of CM Punk's face. I was like, oh god, that's beautiful. And the only thing I think would have made it better is if he had managed to work the spinner belt in.
Yeah. The worst belt in the history of belts.
Oh god, that thing. Whew.
I mean, I would have been okay with if it had been just a gimmick belt for his first run, but then when everybody started using it, I was like, ugh.
Yeah.
But on back to the deal at hand. Now, I like the only way you're going to be real in this company is if Tony has a daughter and you marry her.
That was beautiful. Oh man, I thought the damn commentary team would have popped on that one. I think they probably had their mics turned off just in case.
Well, you know when something's good on AEW, they don't talk.
Exactly.
They'll always just sit back and let it go.
I mean, they were trading barbs like no one's business, and that was the best 20 minutes I've seen on television since I rediscovered classic Iron Staff on Pluto.
And it's like they knew it was going to be great because they had that special camera that was rolling down the side like level with the ring. You didn't see that camera the rest of the night.
No, you didn't.
And yes, Iron Chef on Pluto. I watched the past 2 mornings.
I watched it for a couple hours this afternoon. I'm just, oh god, I'm so glad I found it again.
Between that and the Price is Right channel, my days off will be made.
It's like the greatest high school sick day in the world.
Yes.
Every day. I'm homesick from school. Price is Right and Iron Chef, please. Oh god, it's been beautiful. But last week's Dynamite, I mean, that started off strong, and then honestly, for me, I think the program stayed pretty strong the rest of the night.
Yeah, it did. because we followed up with Danielson and QT Marshall, which sounds like it wouldn't be that great, but
it was Punk and QT.
Punk and QT, sorry, but the posse stayed out of it, and pretty much that was what it was supposed to be. It was a good squash match.
Yep. It was a squash that wasn't too overtly squashy, which I like.
Now I'm forgetting who Danielson. Oh yeah, it was that was later on. That was for the main event, wasn't it?
Yeah. He did his Colt Cabana match. And was that the week before? Was that last week?
I think this is the best use of the Dark Order. Have Bryan Danielson run through them all.
It's good because it's just like it's mirroring what he did with the Elite when he ran through the Elite. He ran through the heel faction as a face, and now he's running through the face faction as a heel. And he's going for the belt more or less both times.
But he knows how to play. He is having. You can tell he's just enjoying it, and him as a heel is so much better right now because we knew going in that Punk or Danielson one would have to be a heel.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I'm hoping for the day when heel Punk comes back because I fucking love heel Punk. But as of right now, face Punk and heel Danielson is pretty solid.
It's still money.
Oh yeah, just go ahead and print some money with their
which means now we've established which one's the heel and the baby. They're going to meet down the road. It's just setting it up, and then we'll wonder if it'll be interesting if we get the handshake.
Mm-hmm. I think we'll get the Ring of Honor handshake. He's done it with a couple other people. I believe it'll happen.
Speaking of that, with the Ring of Honor releases, I wish they would sign Todd Sinclair and get rid of the corpse ref. Yeah, that's just me.
Hey, it is what it is. I would like them to get some more blood in the referee corps because most of them. For me, at least half of the AEW refs are pretty good. There's only a couple that are just. I'm just like, you just haven't really gotten any better.
I don't like Remsburg, and I don't like Knox.
Remsburg doesn't bother me too much. Knox, I can kind of get you. Aubrey, I think, does a good job.
But she's gotten some bad habits in the last couple years.
She has picked up a few. She knows she's a hella popular ref, so she's starting to kind of lean into the popularity in the camera a little bit more. Like, what was it? Was it Wednesday night or Friday night where she was in the turnbuckle at the wrong time and had to hop out of the way before a spot? And I was like, But
I can't remember.
It was one of them. I just remember seeing it as like, Aubrey, I remember you talking about how you watch what everyone does so you can stay out of the way, and you're a good ref who accents the match but doesn't take over the sights. But right there, you're proving yourself wrong. Anywho, they do need some more fresh blood. Now, what do you think about the big tag match between Cody and Pac and Idolo and Black?
I think it was just there to make Cody not get booed, and it failed.
Yeah, Cody's going to get booed no matter what. I mean, seeing someone throw his belt back at him, that was this week.
Yeah, that was great.
That was probably the funniest thing. He said, "What the fuck?"
He was very confused.
Yeah, no one throws the belt back. That's all. Everyone was telling that dude, "Throw it back," and he's like, "But okay," and then he threw it back.
And the dude who threw it back was in a Cornette shirt.
I know, that was the best part. I was like, damn, I know Weatherman, if he saw that, he's going to be like, holy shit, he's wearing a Cornette shirt. It's over now. So Cody threw it on the off-camera side of the fucking ring the second time. And it really looked like he mean-mugged the dude, be like, don't fucking throw it back. I'm just like, Cody.
The guy was conflicted though, because he's like, well, this is a souvenir, but I really don't like him.
Yeah.
But what the funny thing about it was, so they throw the belt back. Andre gets it and throws it under the apron. They go to commercial. They come back. Cody has the belt back on and throws it in the other section.
It's Cody, man. For me, and probably for everyone, except for Cody, who can't read the writing on the goddamn wall, he just needs to turn and revamp his character. No one likes face Cody. Nobody. It's not working.
The reality show was everything the opposite of what he wanted it to be. It made everybody hate him worse.
Yep.
And it just got renewed for season 2.
Oh, good.
I haven't watched a single one, but I know the ratings were shit.
It only got renewed because I'm sure Tony Khan's like, I guess I'll help foot the bill again. Make it seem like it's something worthwhile, but in actuality, it is a dumpster fire. I mean, Shaq's show is better than yours, Cody, and Shaq's show is trash. I mean, no. If it were like a match normally, Shaq's show would be like you in that match with Shaq. Those are the main takeaways for me from Dynamite from last week. Everything else, while good, just didn't really stand out quite as much. But Rampage on Friday had some interesting choices. One, you had the first match, Bobby Fish and Adam Cole going up against Orange Cassidy and Wheeler Yuta. I enjoyed that match, and I'm glad to finally see Bobby Fish get the pin on somebody. I know it says he's 4-4 on his record, but I swear to God, every time it feels like every time I watch Bobby Fish wrestle, he loses.
So I think they're setting up an Undisputed Era run.
I think they're going to set up something similar to it.
Well, you know, Kyle O'Reilly's tenure with NXT is coming up.
Uh-huh.
And if you watch the BTE, at the very end, Adam Cole gives Kenny Omega a Monster Energy drink, which, if you followed the show, that's how they killed off Adam Cole when he went to WWE.
Mm-hmm.
And then, you know, there's a long thing with Kenny being hesitant to drink it. He finally drinks it, and nothing happens. And then everyone breathed a sigh of relief, and Nick was like, "Oh, it's like what happened to Cole," or something like that. He made a reference to it, and everyone just looked down, like, "What?" And then it ended. That was the end of the episode.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like BTE coupled with some of the recent contract stuff, and Adam Cole's comments of he would like everyone there as well,
Mm-hmm.
and with it would just be a fun feud that they might just make it happen. Like BTE is going to be the beginning of the story, planting the seeds of Adam Cole realizes he was murdered by his friends,
Mm-hmm.
and now it's time to feud. And he's already got Bobby Fish in his corner, and then
Mm-hmm.
Kyle O'Reilly leaves and starts. Bring him in, and there's your Undisputed Era. Don't have to count Roderick Strong because Roderick came in later.
Yep.
The original.
Roddy re-signed too, I think, didn't he?
I have no idea, but I mean, he was the weakest member. No offense to Roderick.
I had heard that he had re-signed with WWE for some odd reason.
I mean, hey, you do what you got to do, but the main thing that I'm seeing is coming up in the coming year, we've got the possibilities of O'Reilly and Owens
Mm-hmm.
dipping, and you know for a fact both of them would come to AEW. Period.
Yeah. That'd be
Also,
cool, actually, if that happened, because then it could be
Mount Rushmore versus the Undisputed Era,
yeah.
and that would be pretty solid. Also, just because I feel like it fits with the conversation, I'll jump the gun a little bit since it's more WWE centric. What about Gargano signing the 1 week contract extension?
Gargano can go anywhere. If anyone was smart, they would just throw money at the dude.
Mm-hmm. I agree. I do. And I want him somewhere. Period.
I think the best thing is getting Adam and Cole away from the Bucks as far as a faction.
Yeah.
If they want to do Undisputed Era versus the Elite, cool. Undisputed Era versus Mount Rushmore, cool. but get Adam and Cole away from them and their crap to where the Undisputed Era can be more serious, and when they move on from that, they can just go through and run through everybody like they did in NXT, because that's where the good Adam Cole was. I don't like comedy Adam Cole.
Mm-hmm. I don't mind.
I mean, it just doesn't fit, because he was so good in NXT with what he was doing, the way he was doing himself there.
Mm-hmm. And
when he was serious in Ring of Honor, he was really good. I just don't like him with that group, because he's too talented. I think he's too talented to be in that hodgepodge of foolishness.
Yeah, that's a fair take.
I don't want to see Adam Cole and have Brandon Cutler spraying him with damn cold spray. It just kills it for me. Speaking of budget cuts, it won't happen because the Bucks' his boy, but cut him and Nakazawa.
No, absolutely not. Don't.
Nakazawa does do a lot of their work with the international talent, especially the Japanese talent. He's one of their main translators. He's not going anywhere.
And Cutler also does all the work for BTE, so...
Yeah, Cutler and Nakazawa have like more cushy, like non-in-ring jobs that they can fall back on. So I mean, even if they cut them back to not doing anything performance-wise, behind the scenes they've got them. So I'm okay.
Well, that's fine. Just cut them from being goofballs on camera.
That doesn't bother me. I would like to see Cutler go back to Dungeons and Dragons Cutler instead of failed joke at a young boy Cutler. But that's besides the point. Now, the other parts of Rampage from the other night, and this is the one that I think most people will be kind of miffed about. Britt Baker versus Riho for the Black Friday special match.
Makes no sense.
Yeah. And Riho getting a clean win over Britt.
It's more like the Black Saturday special.
Oh.
See what I did there?
I did.
Look up Black Saturday, kids. It's a historic moment in wrestling.
Now, for me, and you guys can, disagree and let me know if I'm a dumbass or not, and I'm sure you will. I know Grayson won't hold back. But I think the main reason they did it is because out of all of the previous champions, Riho is the only one that hasn't gotten a rematch. A true, for the belt rematch. The only one.
It's true, but
now
it's been 2 years.
Yeah, but I mean, did she truly deserve it? No, it's just like they threw her a bone because she's actually been there lately, even though she's doing most of her work on Dark.
She moved to the U.S. for them, so.
Yeah, so I mean, that's cool.
Here's my thought. Nobody's gonna like it. Kenny got tired of Cheetah, so now he's back to Riho, so she's getting pushed. Whoever Kenny's getting pushed in the women's division.
That
I'm gonna go out on a limb and say press X for doubt.
But I mean, who knows? I don't know what Kenny's doing. Hell, Kenny is Kenny, Sheeta is Sheeta, and Riho is Riho. That's all I know. And all I can say is Riho's not going to win that belt.
Better not.
Britt Baker is going to have that belt for much longer.
She better not. Exactly.
Yeah. Britt is going to hold that belt for a while. If anyone is going to cause Britt to lose that belt, it's going to be Jamie Hayter from how Britt fucked her over in that last team.
My girl. I love me some Hayter.
Oh,
I love the fact on her screen, on her video screen, they put "Haters Gonna Hate" on there now.
Yes. But
I don't own a wrestling shirt anymore except for my Cactus Jack 97.
Mm-hmm.
But I will buy a "Haters Gonna Hate" shirt.
I've got far too many wrestling shirts now, actually. my collection has grown. But speaking of Hater. Well, actually, no. Even though that's a wonderful segue. Well, we all knew Eddie Kingston was going to beat Daniel Garcia, so we don't need to worry about that one. I mean, who didn't see the writing on the wall for that? But I'm going to tell you again. I feel like I'm just going to say it forever every time we talk about Rampage. I love Mark Henry's little in between everybody talking head. I do.
It is so great because he's always so uncomfortable.
He's so uncomfortable, but he's having fun doing it, and he's getting better at it. I mean, he's gotten good enough at it to where everyone chants along, now time for the main event. And that, to me, is pretty much proof positive that little part for Henry is hella over. He has a catchphrase now.
Yes. It's
perfect. It's what Mark Henry needed since he got there.
Oh, a bit of AEW, as I forgot to mention in the pre-show. JR will be off commentary until first of the year.
You are correct. He's hoping to be back by the 29th because he's going through some skin cancer treatments. So,
yes, like 21 and 22 days or something.
Yeah. It's going to be a minute. But hopefully, it's skin cancer.
Now here's the question. We'll find out tomorrow night. Do you put Excalibur on lead or you put Tony on lead?
I would say Excalibur's probably going to be on lead because technically he has been there longer. But I feel like if you're going to really do it, Tony should be lead and Excalibur should be more of your hype man.
When they're all there, I wish they would just take Tony off commentary altogether and just make him Gene Okerlund.
Tony does a good Gene Okerlund. He's very expressive, and that I like.
I mean, I get those vibes whenever he does those ramp interviews and wherever his backstage interviews. He always has that Mean Gene, Gene Okerlund vibe to him when the way he interacts.
He does. He's comfortable with them, but at the same time, he plays that same oddly nervous energy because he doesn't want anything weird to happen and be in harm's way. You know what I'm saying? He's got that classic Gene vibe. So, since we were talking about Hayter and how she got shafted out of her go-round for the TBS title.
The host title!
Yeah. God damn. We're going to have to build a catalog of Weatherman sound bites, aren't we, Grayson?
Sounds like
all of his fucking scat music. So Hayter lost to Thunder Rosa. So we've got our TBS title looking like so. As of right now, the winners lately, Nyla won her match, Jade won hers, Thunder Rosa won over Hayter, and then tomorrow night we've got Statlander versus Soho. So, that means our semifinal matches are going to be Jade Cargill versus Thunder Rosa coming up here pretty soon, and Nyla Rose versus whoever comes out on top from Statlander and Soho. So, from our original predictions, there have been no hiccups in the women's match. It's gone almost the way that I thought it would so far. I don't think there's been any swerves other than Red Velvet beating the Bunny. That's the only thing that kind of didn't go the way I thought it would. But
I do want to say one thing regarding the Hayter match.
Uh-huh.
I don't like the whole teasing the dissension in the group right now because I like the Britt Breaker group because Rebel's just the flunky. Hayter is the meat of the group. She's the bad, besides Britt, who's the leader, she's the role of the bad bitch and Rebel's the flunky.
Mm-hmm.
And I just like, they just all three go well together. I just hate to see them break up this early. It's kind of like the MGF Wardlow doing it too soon.
Yeah.
When they first started teasing it. And it's probably going to be that same way they're going to tease it and then not do it. Which is what I hope, but I just don't want to see the dissension now. There's still a lot more they can do together.
I feel like Baker's crew needs a name before too long.
Yeah.
if they hold together long enough, they need a name.
Baker's Bad Bitches.
Baker's Bad Bitches, Triple B.
I was trying to figure out a way to do it around the dentist thing, but I couldn't figure it out. Unless you was going to call it the office. Just call them the office. Call them the practice. Yeah.
Practice. That wouldn't be too bad. That sounds a little more like someone should have a lawyer gimmick, but
Mark Sterling.
He's working with Jade though. Shit, what would I call them? I mean, you can still run with DMD and like Damn Mean Dames. I don't know. It needs something that's going to flow. I Baker's Bitches doesn't really work.
Yeah, that sounds more like a Process Rock gang.
It does. Barker's Bitches. Fuck, I don't know. That's a good one. Grayson will have to try and back in with that one later on. It'll be a surprise from out of left field. But
the dental dams.
Oh fuck! The dental.
The dental damsels.
The dental damsels. That's
I was sitting on that one, but I'm not a fan of it for a realistic sense.
We may just keep. This will be a good backstage show where they're all just trying to come up with a name for the group.
I know.
Dental damsels will be like rebels. Little throw in.
Yeah.
Hey Britt, I listened to this excellent podcast. They said the dental damsels.
And then just Britt and Hater just kind of just turn their head and look at her with this most go to hell look possible.
Yeah, easily.
Yes.
We just wrote a segment for AEW. We should be proud of ourselves.
I know.
It would actually be good.
It would be pretty funny. Oh man, that's good stuff.
And have Tony on it too, because then Tony can. They all three just turn their head to Rebel and look at her.
Oh, Tony wouldn't be able to keep it together. I think they would never live that one down. It would be the unofficial name forever and always. Now, let's see. So, who do we think is going to take it with Statlander and Soho? Because this is the one match that I'm torn with more than any of the others.
It's a toss-up, babyface.
I know. Statlander, I think.
For me, I feel like it should be Soho in the sense that I would like to see her get a belt, but I mean, odds are, and I'm still sticking with my original theory, Jade Cargill's going to be the first TBS champion. Like that's
you gonna have double heel champions?
Yeah, I just see that happening because why else would you stick her in this tournament with all of the fucking hype they've been sticking on her since day one? Unless you're going to use this as the vehicle to attempt to propel her that much further.
I had thought it was going to be a way to put a belt on Thunder Rosa without taking it off of Baker.
That is also true, and I hate going against my preference of Thunder Rosa and saying Cargill, but my gut is telling me Cargill. I'm hoping I'm fucking wrong. This is one of those times, but that's who I've said at the beginning. I'm not going to change it because I just feel like that's where it's going. For me,
the winner of Rose Statlander goes against Cargill, right?
No, the winner of Statlander and Soho goes against Nyla Rose. Jade Cargill and Thunder Rosa are already a semifinal match. Whoever wins that one goes to the finals.
Okay, hear me out. Mm-hmm. Nyla Rose and Jade Cargill did their little thing about a month or so ago. What if Nyla fucks Cargill over, not killing her push?
Possibly. It could be a way to do it.
Nyla Rose wins her and goes to the final.
Mm-hmm.
And then in turn, she screws Jade over. Jade screws her back.
Mm-hmm.
Or Thunder Rosa just takes out Nyla, which would be out of the unordinary.
No.
And that's just my opinion. I still think that belt was made to put a belt on Thunder Rosa without having her to dethrone Britt.
Yeah. Looking at the way,
because honestly, I think Ruby's going to be the one to take the belt off Britt when it happens.
I can see that. I feel most likely, looking at it and the way it's going to be, I do think they'll probably put Statlander up against Rose, so it's strength versus strength.
But you know who's not going to take the belt off Britt Baker? Big Swole.
Nope. Oh, man. But looking at the breakdown of when everything's happening, since we got Statlander and Soho happening tomorrow on the 1st, I'd say Rose and Cargill and Thunder Rosa, or Rose and whoever the winner of this match is going to be on the 8th. The next semifinal match will be on the 15th. And then I think the final is going to be at Greensboro.
I could see that.
So, since I've got tickets for Greensboro, I am excited about the possibilities of seeing the culmination of this in Greensboro. If it's a Jade Cargill versus who the fuck ever, I won't be super hyped. But if it's a Thunder Rosa versus whoever, I will be very hyped. But I'm still going to lean for Jade, just because it's what I said. I don't want to go back on it and be wishy-washy. But that's just where I'm thinking. Grayson, you still sitting where you were a while back, or?
Yes.
Okay. And you're thinking it's going to be
Thunder Rosa, if I remember correctly. I think we couldn't really remember who I originally picked, and I think we settled on, I may have said Thunder Rosa.
Mm-hmm.
We both have not gone back to listen to it.
Yes. If I can't remember it, then I don't want to go back and listen to it, just because I hate hearing myself talk on audio. I avoid my editing as much as possible. That's why we love Falcon so much. He's a boy. Thanks for letting me not hear me talk. Now, speaking of...
I want to say one thing that you mentioned in Greensboro.
Okay.
I feel they should have ran Charlotte the 22nd and ran Greensboro for Battle of the Belts. That's just my preference.
For me, I agree. I do. The main reason, because why not run Battle of the Belts at the birthplace of Stargate?
And one of the biggest arenas in the Southeast.
It's true.
And as fast as tickets sold for Charlotte, a big crowd in the Coliseum for that would be a because here's the bad thing. WWE did a pretty good crowd there just this past Friday.
Mm-hmm. Were they in Greensboro on Friday?
Yep, for SmackDown.
Oh, I'll be damned. I didn't even know. Oh.
I didn't know either till Wes texted me. He's like, hey, there's a good crowd in Greensboro. Huh. I was like, did you go? No, I'm just watching on TV.
Sounds like Wes. Yeah, I think it would have been.
But they were popping in crowd noise and chants.
Well, they always do. They're real bad for that. I'm glad that AEW didn't start doing that till right at the very, very end of their run in Jacksonville, instead of doing it the whole time. But I am right there with you. I think Battle of the Belts would have been better served in the Greensboro Coliseum as opposed to the Bojangles Arena. Or the Bojangles Coliseum, or whatever the fuck. Yeah, Bojangles Coliseum. Because, I mean, all the seats in Bojangles are good, which is, a plus if you're going to a show there. But, it doesn't have the clout of the GBC. It does not.
It doesn't have the comfortable seats either.
No, it did not. So, it is what it is. However, to circle back to the women's title match, I do hope that happens in Greensboro, the finals. I hope Battle of the Belts is really fucking good, because I will watch the shit out of it. It seems like a good, micro show. Maybe also... No, that would happen probably... Grayson, remind me, did MJF defend the Dynamite Diamond ring at Winter is Coming last year, or did he defend it at one of the pay-per-views?
I felt like it was not a pay-per-view.
Okay. Because I know he's due up to defend it again. And for me...
Is Winter is Coming going to be a Saturday special, or is it going to be a Dynamite
It's going to be a Dynamite
special deal?
I believe it's Dynamite. It's I think it's actually it's the one in Dallas, so I think it's either next week or the week after.
I don't know why they're doing that again, because that was just a stupid theme anyway. It was just to bring Sting out with snow.
It's true, but I mean, it makes sense for the season. If there's a cool way to make it work, I'm all for it. If you know, what are your thoughts? Here's something I thought about since I brought up the Diamond Ring. What if MJF drops the ring to Punk? Would that be too soon of Punk getting one over on MJF, or would it just add extra fuel to the fire for their feud?
I think they need to talk as long as possible, and not touch each other. That's why I thought Charlotte would be a good place for them to finally have the first go around.
All right.
Because Revolution, their pay-per-view isn't until February, right?
I believe so, late January, early February, something like that.
So I want to think it's after the Super Bowl.
Okay, so it'd be like early February.
So, because late January is the Rumble, and they're not going to go head-to-head with the Rumble.
No. Even me disliking WWE, I'm still going to watch the Rumble. The Rumble's just, it's one of those things. I have to watch it.
I'll probably pass on it, but I think they're going to let them not I think the more suspense you can add is by them just talking and not touching each other, because you know the talking is going to be good. Mm-hmm. And you can tease to it.
Yeah, I don't want them to get into a dust-up either.
No. I mean, if you're going to call the show Battle of the Belts, I got to think you got to put every belt on the line in that show.
Mm-hmm. Agreed. And, I mean, if you really want to do it, even go with the ring, even though it's not technically a belt. Or you could call it a belt for your finger. Fuck it. Put the ring up on Battle of the Belts, too. I think it would make sense.
Wasn't the ring done in a battle royal?
It may have been. I cannot remember.
I think each time the ring's been done, it's been done in a battle royal. So that could work for Battle of the Belts, because you do the Battle Royal first.
Mm-hmm.
Then have Punk as a surprise entrant and surprise MJF.
Yeah.
But then if I want to go watch that live, I want to see Punk in a full match. So selfishly speaking, no. Booking sense, it does make sense.
Yeah. Now, let's we got two other things AEW before we dive into the rest. All right, one, Tony Nese, thoughts?
He'll be a decent mid-carder. Mm-hmm. I really don't have nothing else.
Yeah, I mean, the one thing I can tell you is when he came out Friday to cut his little promo, and Sammy came out doing his usual, super small dick energy up in, Tony Nese's face. Because, I mean, don't get me wrong, I like Sammy, but at the same time, he's another one of those that kind of does the same shit all the time. He came out. Nese is the first one I've seen put Sammy on his ass and not get jumped by 100 people during one of the promo dust-ups. Like, Nese got the definitive one-up on Sammy. Knocked him down, and then put his knee in his ribs and just kept him on the ground the whole time. Before he just like, all right, I'm done, and walked away. So, as unlikely as it may seem from one route, do you think this could be the one time, or the first time they let an open challenger actually win that belt, as a way to entice someone new into the mix? Or do you think Sammy's just going to do what Sammy usually does and win?
I don't know how they want to use that belt. I don't think he's had it long enough to lose it. If he's going to lose it back, I would see him losing it back to Miro, who I felt who lost it too soon, because that Redeemer gimmick was over.
I agree. And honestly, the Redeemer gimmick is still over, because the Fallen Sun Redeemer, honestly, is even better. I love it. I mean...
Oh yeah, the promo segment's been great with that. Well, I'm saying if anybody's going to take the belt off, I think it needs to be Miro to kind of bring that story full circle.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Grayson, what do you think?
Yeah. Miro needs a belt because he's just great.
Mm-hmm.
Really
so you think Nice is going to go the route of everyone else that gets the open debut? He's just going to go in there, look good, and then do the job?
Yeah.
Down the road, Miro needs to be a world champion, but with the way they got stacked right now, he's kind of out of place for that. So the TNT title kind of needs to be his thing for the time being until, they get through what they're doing with the super big star. Because let's just face it, Miro's a big star.
Mm-hmm.
But the ones above him, once they get done running their cycle through, then it can be his time.
I agree. They'll have to do it within. I don't know how old Miro is. I know he's in wrestling terms, he's in his prime right now. But at the same time, wrestler prime.
He keeps teasing Lana, bringing his wife in.
Uh-huh.
I think when she comes in, that's when he starts going for the big belt.
I think that's a good plan. I'd say if she comes out, it'll be the time he wins the TNT title again. That'd be the perfect debut.
Because the way he's been doing the promos, then I would do the controversial promo where he throws God to the side. He said, I didn't need God along. All I needed was... Or it turns out the one you thought he was talking about God, but in the end, he was like talking about his wife.
I was talking about the JJ.
Lucy got me the belt back.
Yes. So last thing.
Who needs a God when you got the pussy?
It brings to life. It is the God. But anyway, last thing. You mentioned it pre-show. Oversaturation of the North Carolina market.
Not just North Carolina, just the way they run their shows in general. Chicago is going to be the one seat. I think they could do 10 shows a month and not have a problem.
Mm-hmm.
But even with that, still eventually it's going to overrun. But a market like North Carolina, where the Charlotte shows, now you guys have been to them live, they wasn't complete sellouts, were they?
How
did you feel about the crowd size?
It looked pretty stacked in Charlotte, man. It really did. Grayson, what did you think?
I thought there was a pretty good crowd.
I don't know whether it sold out or not, but it was definitely very full. I don't remember seeing many empty seats, if at all.
And you went to both Charlotte shows, right? That was
I went to
each other.
I did not go to both. I went to the one that was this summer.
Okay, so the second one's the one I think I was talking about, where the crowd wasn't as big as the one before. And that's where it kind of gave me the idea. But it's still, they're going to run Greensboro December 22nd, Battle of the Belts on Saturday the 8th, and the following Wednesday in Raleigh. And Raleigh's the one that's kind of got me wondering, because that's for the people in the Charlotte market, that's a pretty good drive. That's a pretty good drive for me, and I go to that arena all the time for hockey. It's a 2.5 hour drive.
Mm-hmm. Raleigh's the one that I don't see doing too well. Raleigh is one of those places that doesn't strike me as a city for wrestling. But, they could be testing new waters. It could work out for them. At the summer show, Grayson drove all the way down to Charlotte for the Dynamite taping from Raleigh. So,
but here's the thing though. When I say oversaturate the market, how many repeat customers are going to do all 3 shows in a month? So you're hoping for a good chunk of new people to come into each of these markets.
Yeah, repeat wise, cost of ticket. If we go with what we paid for ours, which were decent.
The base ticket is $65 is what I think for all the shows.
Okay, we paid, I think, 80 something for ours, 90 something after tax. So you're looking top end $270.
And Ticketmaster's bullshit fucking fees. Fuck you, Ticketmaster.
Yes, I agree. That's part of where I got the $90 from. because it went up where it was like $15, $20 in fees divided across 3 people. It wound up being like $90, $92 a person. So that was $200. We'll just call it $270. We'll leave it at $90. $270 for 3 tickets across the board. That is doable. It's steep, but definitely doable for a fair number of people. Not everyone, but a fair
What
number.
AEW needs to do, this is something that goes across many ticket stations wide. Arenas need to start doing their own box offices again and just do an online server. Get the fuck rid of Ticketmaster. Because the fees are fucking bullshit. I can give you a reason why. International Speedway Corporation owns about half the racetracks in NASCAR. They do their own ticket service. They do not charge fees, and depending on what state you're in, you don't get charged sales tax. North Carolina, you do because we're a greedy state. Tennessee, Virginia, I don't get charged sales tax for my tickets. I pay what the price of that ticket is. I go on Ticketmaster, $130 ticket, okay, cool. And then, $34 in fees. And then sales tax. Fuck you, motherfucker, pay it or not.
Yeah, Ticketmaster's a crock of shit, man.
Ring of Honor ran their own tickets. So
Yeah,
AEW, there's a hint of advice. Do your own ticket service.
I think almost everyone should, because, I mean, look, to go off on the short Ticketmaster rant, a lawsuit to where they had to pay back and give people stuff because they fucked up so hard with shiesty fees should prove that they shouldn't be charging those fees, because they didn't change how much they were charging. But no, their fees have gotten worse, if anything. They haven't changed. And you know how much of that shit I got to use from that fucking settlement? Nothing. Because
I didn't either.
Fucking book anything.
Anything you wanted to go to, you couldn't use it.
Yep. It was all fucking country music and bullshit pop no one ever wanted to see.
Ticketmaster is the worst Ponzi scheme since third-party ticket sites came out.
Oh, God, they're the fucking worst.
And what's worse is their third-party vendor, they're higher than StubHub.
Yeah. Which one is their third party?
Verified by Ticketmaster or whatever it is, their third-party selling service. Because when you go into a ticket, you'll get their crap too. Because you have to go into the filters and filter them out.
That's the funny part. That right there should be like a red flag as well. Because if you're Ticketmaster and you're selling tickets or advertising tickets for your own company that resells your tickets, it sounds like you're just pretty much artificially inflating price to make more profit. You could sell all these tickets at face value from your company as is, but instead it seems like you're setting a number of these tickets aside, buying them up yourself, and then just reselling them just to make more money, because you know someone's going to think, oh, all these tickets were bought out, I better buy these because they're coming from someone else, when in actuality they're just coming from Ticketmaster.
I mean, the original premise of these third-party sites, honestly, I thought was on good, I would think was on good intentions. Okay, season ticket holders who can't go to all their stuff, put their stuff up there for sale, and they may charge a little bit more in face value and make a little money off of it. Fine. But then people made a fucking career out of it.
Yep. I mean, I've bought Scout tickets, but I did it the old school way, where you found the fucking weirdo in the parking lot and you bought some legit tickets.
Yep.
But, you know.
Because I've actually bought some tickets off StubHub from people who were actually season ticket holders who were selling them actually cheaper than what they paid for them, because they were like, hey, I had these tickets and I got to go to a wedding in Vermont. I can't go to these games, so I'm just getting rid of my tickets for whatever I can get rid of them for.
Hey.
I've went to several things cheaper than face value because I've run into, just decent people.
Yep. I mean, I can only hope that the days of Ticketmaster and their bastard cousin Live Nation, which is just Ticketmaster Lite, will, I want them to die. I do not want them around anymore. Plain and simple. I want them dead. Because I should not have to pay upwards of $20, $25 in fees to buy a ticket to a show when all you're doing is hosting a website to sell a ticket.
Yeah. And how many... And, okay, we're all old enough. I didn't really buy nothing before the days the internet took over. Was it that bad with fees when they were doing the phone service back in the 90s? Was it that bad?
I think that's where a lot of the lawsuit came from as well. Early phone days, the fees for that, and then that transitioning to the internet, making the fees even worse. So I believe it was the long-standing thing. It's just been shit forever.
Because back in my day, we went to the good old-fashioned box office and bought our ticket. Sometimes we had to stand in line on the sale date.
I miss the box office. I do. I
do too. Sometimes it took a while because you had to explain to the person who just got hired where you want your seat at. Mm-hmm. They'd give you the little map and go, where you want to sit at? I want to sit right there. Well, we have row so-and-so. I'll take it.
Yep. Who knows, man? Most likely, we'll probably never see the end of it, but God, I hope they fucking go the way.
And now, thanks to COVID, the box office in general, I think's dead because they're up in pre-COVID. At least arenas still had their box offices open.
Mm-hmm. I mean, the box office is just basically shuttered windows at most places now.
Because I would go, especially NASCAR races, I would go to racetracks and go to the box office. I wouldn't have to pay the damn fees from Ticketmaster.
Yeah, I always wanted to just go to like a fucking venue and be like, hey, let me get a ticket like a few days before to see if I could buy it straight from them instead of going through one of the services. But I've actually called them up on the phone and had the box office at the place tell me, no, you got to order it online. I'm like, well, what the fuck is your job? So that's a rant that
I just dust the dust off the desk.
Yeah.
There's nobody been working here for 3 years.
Yeah. This is a rant that we could keep going for way too long. So let's go ahead.
In summary, fuck Ticketmaster.
There we go. Yay AEW for being on a hot streak. I hope they don't hit another one of their weird cold streaks. And fuck Ticketmaster. So let's go ahead. We'll step over to WWE. We wanted to hit some of this last week.
With that being said, let me finish on this one subject.
Okay.
With Omega on the shelf and suppose the Bucks being on the shelf, this is possibly the greatest time for AEW because a lot of the foolishness will not be on TV.
I'm not going to deny that there will be less foolishness on TV. But I do like the skills that both of those groups have in the ring. Dial back the foolishness a little bit, and I think it would be even better. But yes, you are correct. I think we're going to have a little more classic feel as opposed to a modern classic. WWE, last week we weren't able to record, so we put up an extended cut of one of the older episodes, and so we missed out on a fresh out the oven Survivor Series recap for us. So we will go over it right now very quickly. Since everyone probably listening's already heard it, we're still going to give it a look-see. We had quite a few matches going last time. We'll start with our first few because we made some predictions. It was me, Grayson, Chapel, and John doing everything this time. So there's a lot to look at. All right, so up first, it was Nakamura versus Damian Priest going against one another.
Yeah, this one was, I think I picked Priest.
We all picked Priest except for Chapel, who picked Nakamura.
And he won by by technicality because Damian Priest got pissed off and disqualified himself by hitting Nakamura with the guitar.
Oh boy!
So I don't understand it. That's really is I don't really understand the booking. But whatever. I don't know where they're going. That's it. I don't understand. The match itself was fine until the end when Rick Boogs, I think, was playing the guitar and tried to fuck with Damian Priest in some way, shape, or form.
Yeah. The other one, you had the Raw Tag Team Champions RK Bro against the Usos, and let's see how we did. All of us got that one correct. RK Bro wins, and the other big part is this match set a record for old Randy Orton.
Most pay-per-view matches.
177. That is insane.
Like a shit ton. It took Kane 26 years to get 176.
And Weatherman, as he is doing his thing, he says, Vince doesn't like guitars, he likes eggs.
Okay, I just gotta get this 1 point in. They say he beat Kane's streak, but did he really beat Glenn Jacobs' streak? Does that count Isaac Yankem and Fake Diesel?
Not yet, but will. Fake Diesel lasted what, like 3 matches, and Isaac Yankem 2.
Well, if we're gonna get technical, he's got 3 to 4 more left.
Mm-hmm. Let's call it technical. We'll say Orton's got 3 to 4 more left, and what I think they're going to do is they're going to give Orton 200 matches before he calls it a day. He's going to hit at least 200 and set a new record, like a new big record. That's what I see going down. Next, we had the Raw versus SmackDown Ladies Battle Royal, the 5-on-5 elimination match. So, apparently it rolled down. Carmella got eliminated first, putting SmackDown up 5-4. Then Zelina Vega was eliminated. SmackDown's up 5-3. Storm was eliminated next, putting SmackDown at 4 and Raw at 3. Morgan eliminated, so even. Ripley eliminated, putting SmackDown. Banks was eliminated next, followed by Natalya. Baszler, making it even Steven. And then Belair, Kiss of Death on Shotzi Blackheart for the win, so Team Raw beats SmackDown. And for the ladies one, I called Raw. John called Raw. You and Chapel called SmackDown, Grayson.
Yeah, and it's a bullshit ending, so.
I'm not going to deny it. It's just, more Bianca Belair stuff. It got a C+, apparently, via Bleacher Report gradings. A C+. All right, the men's 5-on-5. Well, goddamn. First person eliminated was Kevin Owens, followed by Happy Corbin, followed by Xavier Woods. Then you had a double elimination of McIntyre and Lashley because they were counted out outside the ring. Then Finn Balor was eliminated. Then Sheamus was eliminated. Austin Theory was eliminated. And then it was down to just Jeff Hardy and Seth Rollins. The Visionary won, putting Raw over SmackDown. And so all of us called Raw on that one. So far, SmackDown has got a whole lot of not shit going on for their record at Survivor Series this year. So
that's the most important part yet.
Which one is that?
The egg.
The egg? No, not yet. Not yet. Not yet.
I love eggs. Especially golden eggs that look like grapefruits.
Oh, Jesus.
Reminds me of my grapefruits. My big McMahon grapefruits.
Oh, man. I will tell you this. The picture, the promotional picture for Becky Lynch and Charlotte for this Survivor Series. Charlotte looks like she is made of plastic with all the photoshopping that's been done to do all the shit that they do for these promo photos. Holy crap. She doesn't look like a real person. She looks like bad CGI. No, even better, she looks like that Trish Stratus figure that came out earlier this year. That looked like absolute dog shit. But apparently this match was really, really good.
Yeah, that was actually a really good match. Just to go back to what you were saying, what the fuck was up with Charlotte's hair?
I don't even know, man.
I don't know, man. It just looked terrible. I thought her whole look for that match just looked like shit. But as for wrestling, I am both win and put on stellar performances.
Bleacher Report rated that match at an A.
Yeah, it deserved an A.
Mm-hmm.
And the finish, I like the finish. The shiesty pull the tights victory at the ropes.
Hey, nothing wrong with that. You know, turnabout is fair play, in my opinion. And I'll take Becky over Charlotte any day of the week. There's no doubt about that one. And then off we go to the main event. Big E versus the boring dog himself, Roman Reigns. And
acknowledge me.
No. It played out exactly as I expected it to, with Roman Reigns getting the W over Big E. It was just so sad. So sad. But Grayson and Weatherman, would you care to explain the egg to everyone?
Oh my fucking god. If you like terrible side stories that have no real climactic point or big reason, go with yeah. It's still okay. It was still better than the zombies thing for Batista's Netflix movie. It was still better than that. Which don't even get started because Morris sold it and then he ends up getting fired. But pretty much, they did this whole thing to promote the movie Red Notice, I think it is, off Netflix. Ryan Reynolds and Dwayne Johnson.
Mm-hmm.
And all they did was promote The Rock like he was coming up. It was like the big anniversary of his debut at Survivor Series, where he won the match as the last man standing. And he never showed up. And it's like, come on, guys. You could have edited something on the fly, but it was just no payoff. And then I still don't know what the ending was outside of Austin Theory, I think, helped get their thing back so he got a title match or something.
Okay, what happened was Austin Theory took the egg to take a selfie with it and then returned it.
That's what it was, okay.
But Vince thought somebody had stolen his egg and gave whoever found it a title opportunity. And Austin Theory got a title opportunity because Vince said, "I like your gig, pal." Actually, I think that's what really happened. He did say, I like your gig, kid," and he gave him a title shot, which was supposed to have been Monday. But we're forgetting something. I can't believe we're forgetting about it. The crazed mental maniac tackling Seth Rollins.
Straight up hardcore speared Seth Rollins. Like, there's multiple angles. That dude drilled him.
And turns out he did have mental issues.
God.
And Rollins, someone catfished him or got some money out of the dude and posed as Seth Rollins, apparently, or something like that.
Saying he needed money to get to Becky or some shit. I'm just like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
I mean, it sucks for that poor dude if he was someone who mentally was easily taken advantage of, and he did that shit, and now he's got this black mark on his record forever, especially since...
Oh, no, they didn't charge him.
Oh, they didn't?
For what I heard, last thing I heard, they just let him go. He may be banned from WWE events, but they didn't press charges or nothing, which is bullshit. On top of that, where the hell was their security at?
I mean, I don't know, but goddamn, that dude fucking booked it. He was going full fucking throttle around that corner.
I mean, he had a full-fledged, that area is dark, but, you'd think they'd have somebody kind of scoping it out. But then again, I guess they don't plan for that stuff anymore because everybody's in on the gig now.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like it was in the 80s when everybody thought it was real and they really wanted to cut your fucking throat for screwing their guy over.
Yeah, I mean, there's still a few people that do, but it's not as rampant as it once was. Everyone's in on the gig. The days of true kayfabe are long gone.
But it did bring forth some good stories on the Jim Cornette experience this week about his run-ins with fans.
Mm-hmm.
And how this was pretty good for us since we're off North Carolina. So there was an incident in Charlotte where a fan jumped the rail and actually got a hold of Jim. And when he got loose, he went to go swing him and hit him with the rack. He accidentally hit one of the Charlotte cops in the leg. Well, they knew it was Tim, just blew it off. Well, the cops decided to prank him the next time they were in town. They came with a warrant for assault on a police officer. Was going to arrest him, and he's flipping out. He's going, and everybody's in on it. So everybody in the locker room's in on it. And they're just all, and Baby Doll's sitting over there laughing. And he sees her laughing, and he goes, "What the fuck are you laughing at, you fat fucking pig?" And then finally, Doug Dillinger comes up. And he was the one who's in on it too. And they always kind of go, "This is just a rib. We're just joking. We're just pulling your leg." He goes, "Fuck." He's like, "I thought I was going to fucking jail for assaulting a cop."
Oh, God.
But now you can go back and think about it. Think about it back to the 80s when everybody was really wanting to get at people. What separated everybody? In most places, it was a freaking rope. And in the NWA's case, they had that one metal bar. And we have this large, elaborate setup with these fancy guardrails and gates and barriers. And the dude just came around the corner and took Seth down.
I mean, that was an impressive.
And the breakdown of it, because Seth wasn't expecting it, he was kind of fucked. You can't really knock on him because, he speared him and got him to the ground. He just had him in a headlock. He really nothing more he could do until they came in there and got him. I guess my big shout out has to go to Jimmy Wang Yang. He showed up there last minute and just stood there.
Michael Hayes was standing in the entranceway with Fanny Pack.
No, that was an angle. That's the match we're going to see at WrestleMania. Doot versus the Messiah. Or whatever Seth goes by now. Big time Seth?
No, it's not that bad. Okay, he was in the 5-on-5. The Visionary. But yeah, all I know is Rollins getting tackled was one of the best things I've seen in a while. I would say WWE would be doing a great service to give that man a job because his spear looked better than 90% of the people on their roster. And then, 2...
Disclaimer, Post to Post does not advocate jumping the rail at a wrestling show. Once again, Post to Post does not advocate jumping wrestling and jumping wrestlers at a show. That is illegal, and you can go to jail and face prison time. Please don't.
Yes. Don't be like that fat pig fucker at the AEW show back in the spring. Secondly, as I was saying, how on earth can people root for The Miz over Edge in a promo? Because last night, apparently, I believe we mentioned it before, how it almost felt like WWE was kind of trying to do their own Punk and MJF type of angle via a Edge and Miz promo off. And apparently, it other than the fact that people really thought The Miz destroyed Edge on the mic, I don't think it worked.
I can sum this up very quickly because what they did was scripted, and what AEW did was more unlikely talked about but not read off a piece of paper.
Yes. Indeed. Nothing scripted is ever going to go over as better, and whoever can run off the script better is going to come out on top. Edge came from the older days where you were able to actually cut a promo. The Miz has been a script boy, I feel like, almost since day one, has he not, Grayson?
Pretty much.
Yeah. So, it is what it is. I'm not keen on that whole deal. Now, other things, some small stuff. First, WrestleCade. We mentioned it before. Well, former WWE talent Braun Strowman. People have been wondering, where's he going to go? Where's he going to go? Well, apparently he's taking some time for himself. He did an interview at WrestleCade where he mentioned that he enjoyed all of his time, but he didn't like the fact that he missed loads of major family events, Christmases, Thanksgivings, etc., from, being on the road all the time. And so now that he's been released, he's taking a little bit of time for himself, but he'll probably be back. But he did say that he has had offers from all of the big, 3-letter companies.
Even his old employer?
Well, I mean, that one, I don't think that one really counts, if you think about it.
Oh. Well, I wonder if he did some softball this summer.
He might.
Possibly joined up with Sid and they formed a team.
Who knows? I mean, softball runs in that family. But there's that. Next,
I know he can jack one like his dad. I've seen a video a while back of it.
I wouldn't doubt it. I would not doubt it. I wish we were able to still work an angle to get. I mean, he's too big for us. I would have loved to have been able to work a we know people that know people angle to get him to come and just shoot the breeze with us on the show sometime to put us over a little bit. But you can wish him one hand and shit in the other and see which fills up first, but you never know. Now, this is the big news from earlier in the week, and Grayson pointed out a big portion of this. A lot of people were surprised to see that WWE was paying for Jon Moxley's alcohol rehab.
I wasn't very surprised by it when you told me. I mean, they've been doing this forever and a day. As I said, Sammy, Just Incredible, Maven, they have a program in place for former talent if they need rehab, and they cover it. So they've been doing it for years.
Mm-hmm. That was news to me, and when you mentioned that, I was like, oh, that does make sense. It does. So I'm glad either way he's getting help from somebody, and that. How could you
forget about the Scott Hall Memorial Rehab Center?
Man, sometimes shit just goes in one ear and out the other. That's all I know. That's all I know. And how can we call it a memorial when Scott Hall's still kicking?
The old Scott Hall.
Oh, the old Scott Hall. Is this a conspiracy? He's a different person? Just like the old, who was that other wrestler that they said isn't the same person that he... Oh, it's the Ultimate Warrior conspiracy. It's not the same guy. Jesus. So, next. This is one thing a little more down my line of interest. It is action figure related. So, just recently, Ringside Collectibles put up Elite Series 92 for pre-order on their website. The lineup for this series, I found quite a bit of humor in it. Okay? So, it's going to have... I feel like we're going to see a lot of 2K22 issues with the upcoming lines of WWE figures. Because this current line, Elite 92, only has 2 active roster talent in it. 2. Everyone else is either a legend that doesn't perform, or they've been released. So, you've got the burn victim Bray Wyatt Fiend, Scarlett Bordeaux, Adam Cole, 90s WCW 4 Horsemen era Ric Flair, Rey Mysterio, and Charlotte. Those are the 6 figures in that wave. So, I find it incredibly funny they would release a wave of figures that is mostly People that don't even fucking work for them anymore.
That is, I have something interesting too on the figure side.
Oh yes.
There are no authentic scale rings available from WWE for Christmas.
I'll be damned. I should sell one of the ones I have here.
Only thing on Ringside Collectibles right now is the 2 AEW ones, and
those are very nice rings.
The first ones are on back order. The Aubrey one's amazing. They still have stock, which shocked me.
Oh, the Kenny one's on back order?
Last time I checked, yeah.
Oh, I'll be damned. It's weird. The authentic scale rings go all over the place, man. It's such a strange item. Like, why they're out of stock, I don't know. I mean, you can always go to the Figures Toy Company and buy theirs. I believe theirs are still in stock, and theirs are really, really nice. If it's Figures Toy Company or it's this other site that carries their shit, I forget which, but their scale rings come with actual like padded cloth turnbuckles. They're not the molded rubber, and they're pretty fucking sweet. But you can still get them. It's just like WWE, hell, they hardly ever put the things out to begin with. If they did, it was a version you didn't want.
I don't understand on the figure side. I don't understand why they don't make everything scale ring, because the figures are scale, so why don't they just make all the rings scale? Why they have to do the cheap mini ring?
Just budget, I guess, because those scale rings, they charge a fucking bundle for them. I mean, hell, I think normal price for one of those motherfuckers is like $100.
I mean, if your main target audience is children, which I would think it would be, I just paid $130 for a Paw Patrol tower.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, $100 for a scale ring ain't really outlandish.
No, it's really not. Yeah, I wonder the same thing. And honestly, if you're just using all the tooling to produce one ring instead of a whole bunch of other ones, I would figure that would offset the cost a little bit as well.
And if they wanted to do two different layers, they could do the premium and the standard scale ring. The standard scale ring could be what they have now, and do the premium, which actually comes with the wood planks, like this 92 thing they're planning to come out with.
I've got that ordered, so I will have that.
What was that, 200?
$250. But
okay.
I also it comes with like 3 figures and a light up entryway and an announce table with the TVs and some other shit.
Are you going to try and doctor it up to put the WWF logo on it?
I may.
I think you should.
I probably will.
Or at least try to make your own light up diorama of the old hexagon entrance they used to put in the tunnel.
Yes. What I'll probably do more than anything is I'll probably sell off some of the figures I already have to replace them with the ones that come in this, because you're getting an Ultimate Edition Diesel. So he's got the Ultimate Edition articulation. You get an Ultimate Edition Doink the Clown and an Ultimate Edition, WrestleMania 10 Macho, the white and purple. And that Macho also comes with the hat with the headset built into it, so he can do commentary if you've got things set up that way. So it comes with a lot of shit. I'm going to try and sell off some of my older stuff to offset some of the costs, so that way I don't have to have a bunch of doubles that I don't want. But beyond that, and, toys in general, we'll pop over to New Japan. And since we were talking about toys, Wave 2 of the New Japan Ultimates wrestling figures, the one that's all LIJ, showed. I haven't got mine yet, but other friends of mine that ordered them have, and they look very nice. Just gonna say that. Super 7 for the price point should really up the articulation, but in regard to like head sculpts, they're money. Now,
are those coming from Japan?
They're coming from Super 7, that toy company. So, I mean, wherever they produce them, which would be China, they're coming from over there.
I was just curious to how the shipping's been going on stuff like that.
Slow as fuck. I mean, technically those figures are about 6 months late. They were supposed to show up last spring. They're showing up now. So, it's slowly catching up. It's evening now. But with New Japan, we got a couple updates. So, Best of Super Juniors and World Tag League have been going on right now. And we're just going to hit the high notes of some things. World Tag League, the current standings. At number 1, tied for first, you've got Naito and Sonata and ZSJ and Taichi. Both teams with 10 points. Next, you've got 5 teams tied for second. Tanahashi and Yano with 8.
Fuck Yano!
Then you've got the Gorillas of Destiny with 8 points, so 4 wins and 2 losses. Then, now brace yourself, Grayson. Brace yourself. Weatherman, you can brace yourself as well. The thing I thought I would never see. Bad Luck Fale and Chase Owens have the same amount of points as GOD. They have won 4 matches and only lost 2. That is crazy. Since they're the equivalent of Bullet Club's Job Squad.
Yeah, doesn't make any sense.
I know. But then you got Goto and Yoshihashi also at 8. Great Okan and Hinare at 8. Followed by Evil and the Tokyo Pimp at 6. Kojima and Tenzan at 4. Nagata and Tiger Mask at 2. Then Homa and Makabe at 0. And surprisingly enough, Suzuki and Taka Michinoku have 0 wins. Fale and Chase Owens just beat Suzuki and Taka, which I found to be crazy. So far, I mean, all things considered, things looking pretty good. Pretty good for Tag League. I feel like most likely Naito and Sonata are going to win Tag League, and then they're going to challenge ZSJ and Taichi for the belts at Wrestle Kingdom. That's my thoughts on how that's going to pan out. Following that, you've got Best of Super Juniors. The standings right now, Sho laid it down, said he was going to dominate Super Juniors this year, and he is currently dominating with a record of 6-1. He has 12 points. Next closest is El Desperado with 9. He has a record of 4-2-1. Followed by Kanemaru with 8 points. Bone Soldier with 8 points. Taguchi with 8 points. Hiromu with 7. Bushi with 6. Robbie Eagles at 6. Phantasmo at 6. Yo at 6. Then Doki and Master Wato both at 4 points. Got a lot of stuff going on. Tag League's looking good. I think they're going to really push Sho. Sho is probably going to be the next junior heavyweight champion because he's getting quite the push, and they're going to put that belt on another Bullet Club member. That's just the way I see it happening. The finals are going to be on December 15th for both World Tag League and Best of Super Juniors. And other than that, the big news from Japan, big news, is this. Wrestle Kingdom has been at the Tokyo Dome for quite a while. Well, it is not at the Tokyo Dome this year. It's at Yokohama Arena. And the weirdest part is that this is an announcement straight from the New Japan World website. Wrestle Kingdom 16 will not be broadcast live on New Japan World. So, they say to check and contact New Japan's official website for more information. Let's see what information we have.
Would you like a side note while you look that up?
Yes.
Did you know they done an Iron Chef battle in the Tokyo Dome?
I did not.
I learned that last night. While I was trying to find that episode 300 to find out what the actual episode number was. I'd found out that they'd done one in the Tokyo Dome.
Oh, goddamn. That's pretty good. Yeah, I looking it up, it looks like there's no actual information there. Or no, here's what it is. I've got it. Things have been cleared up. So, Wrestle Kingdom, mind you, has been a multi-day event for the past couple years. So, Wrestle Kingdom this year is 3 days. Not 2, it's 3 days. Days 1 and 2.
It's Merle Kingdom!
Yes, it's Kingdom Fest. First 2 days, the 4th and the 5th of January, are at the Tokyo Dome. Day 3, January 6th, Day 3 will be January 8th, Wrestle Kingdom 16 at Yokohama Arena. Which doesn't make sense. I don't know why there's a 3-day gap between one and the next. But that's just how it is.
It must have been a schedule conflict. It had to be.
Probably so. But yeah, it's a 3-day thing. That's the one. So I was upset at first, so apologies. I thought I had I had some information a little wrong, so I decided to scroll through. So Day 3 of Wrestle Kingdom will not be broadcast live on New Japan World. I assume it will show up later and be treated kind of like their other shows, which it'll take a little while for the English broadcast to be done, and then they'll put it up later. There's also the possibility that being recorded at a different arena, there may be a different licensing issue, and they might not be able to broadcast it. I don't know. But that we got to the bottom of the mystery. I was worried there for a second because, I mean, honestly, the only reason you want to get New Japan World half the time is so you can watch Wrestle Kingdom. And, well, Wrestle Kingdom being 3 days and being in January has been dealt quite the questionable hand over the past week with the Omicron Persei 8 variant of COVID, and Japan getting ready to close their borders again to travel. Will there be special visas for people performing to come over there with, stringent tests? Or are they going to do like another one of those 2-week quarantine windows? Or are they going to have to completely revamp the card for Wrestle Kingdom?
I wonder if they're going to have those little nuggets from Omicron Persei 8.
That's a good question. If they do, it'll New Japan will have started intergalactic
conflict.
War. Yeah, and I don't really think they would do such a thing.
The card will be exactly how they planned it. They'll just force everyone who's going to be on the card to come back and do a 2-week quarantine.
Fair enough. That's kind of what I was thinking as well, because it's so late in the game. It would kind of be change everything that's been hyped for so long.
Yeah.
Last thing, and we can talk about this a little bit if we want. I'm not super hyped on it because most stuff coming out of NWA hasn't really interested me lately. There's good stuff happening. They did finally change Nick Aldis's character a little bit. He broke up with the Strictly Business faction. He's been feuding with Thomas Latimer. He's made friends with Trevor Murdoch, who is the current champion. Things like that. But this weekend...
They have eggs!
They probably do. I'm sure Trevor Murdoch...
Yes! We must talk about it.
So this Saturday, the 4th, they're having Hard Times 2. Their pay-per-view. You're going to have Trevor Murdoch versus Mike Knox for the heavyweight championship. Camille versus Melina for the women's championship. Aldis versus Latimer in a grudge match with no seconds allowed at ringside. La Rebellion, which is the AAA tag team of Mecha Wolf and BCS 666 versus The End, which is Pero and Odinson versus for the tag championships. Then you're going to have the National Heavyweight Championship match, Chris Adonis versus Judeus with Father James Mitchell. The ROH World Tag Championship match will be happening here. That's OGK versus Aaron Stevens and Kratos. NWA television match with guest referee The Pope. You've got Tyrus versus Scion. If Pope's the guest referee, they're probably going to take that belt off of Cyrus because of their feud. And then you got the Women's Tag Championship match, the Hex, which is Allison Kay and I forgot her name. Her last name's Bell. I can't think of her first name right now. But Kay and Bell versus Kylie Ray and Tootie Lynn versus Lady Frost and Natalia Markova in a triple threat. Special attraction match, Doug Williams versus Colby Carino. NWA Junior Heavyweight Championship qualifier match, Austin Aries versus Rhett Titus. Another qualifying gauntlet match, order of entry chosen by random draw, but it's going to feature Darius Lockhart, Araya Davari, C.W. Anderson, Homicide, Sal Renaro, Luke Hawks, PJ Hawks, Kerry Morton, Victor Benjamin, Jamie Stanley, Jeremiah Plunkett, and Alex Taylor, and probably more. Mickey James is going to be wrestling. There's a whole lot of shit going on at Hard Times, too. I don't know. NWA is doing a little bit better. I'm surprised. They're the first people I've seen do an ROH-related thing, though, since the big announcement. Besides AEW's Jay Lethal thing, but I don't really count that because this is an actual battle for ROH belts. So I wonder if NWA is going to be a place for ROH titles to stay live until they decide what's going to happen there.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
But who was it? Didn't Dalton Castle just win a belt?
I don't know.
I felt like someone won a belt and kind of felt like it was useless.
I really don't know because I haven't heard too much news, and I get a lot of alerts for wrestling stuff, of course, so I can have talking points. But I did not see anything Dalton Castle related recently.
Okay, I can remember.
But either way, I'll keep an eye on the NWA stuff, see if anything comes of it. But since I just seen that ROH belt, seeing that ROH tag title set being defended on NWA stuff, it feels like they're trying to kind of do the same that other companies did for the NWA when they were on the outs and allowing like the NWA World's Championship to be defended on other shows for a while until it resurrected itself. But we'll see, and that's something I definitely want to keep an eye out for. But, gentlemen, any other topics you wish to touch on?
I got nothing.
Got nothing? All right. Weather, yourself?
Eggs.
Eggs. All right, so with that, we're going to let Weatherman have a moment to travel back in time and relive his PTSD from working for Tyson. Us, ourselves, are going to pretty much just tell you, hey, we'll see you next week. Thanks for tuning in. Big thank you to Weatherman for joining us again. It's been a little while. We're glad to have him back. He always brings a different perspective on things, and we enjoy it. Thank you to Falcon and the boys in the Polar for making it sound good. We're still waiting on word.
My heart rate just increased 10% by talking about me working at Tyson.
That place sucked.
God, I hate that place.
Yeah. We did our time. We're old hat there. Now, again, thanks to Falcon and the Polar. We hope to have everyone news about Gamageddon. It should be coming out soon because, they've definitely had recently some more time to be working on things via updates I've gotten. So I'm hoping to hear some good news very, very soon so we can get the next leg going and further dominate them, unless it's at Mario Party. Now, with that, please give us a listen anywhere that you find your podcasts. We are everywhere except for the horrible thing that is Pandora. We do not truck with them. So give us a follow, give us a like, a subscribe, etc. We can use all the other buzzwords that the internet people do to get stuff, but I don't want to, so just, do listen to the show, find us, subscribe, tell your friends. Shoot us an email, tell us how much you love us, hate us, suggestions, etc. at P wrestling @gmail.com. You can follow us everywhere, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. It'll be in the show notes. Take a look, give us a follow, let us know how we're doing, give us some topics. If you want to be if you're someone that works in the business, wants to be on the show, let us know, because here coming up pretty soon, I'm going to need some interviews or something, because I'll probably have to fly solo for a little while. But with that, everyone here at Post, thanks for listening. We'll see you later. Bye.